Hi Scorpio, so I've come on to do your reading. Now, I have to say, I spoke to you guys and I've been asking you to look over, all of you, to look over all of the readings that I did last year, because I told you specifically that you were going through a year and a half of complete transformation. Within the element of transition, okay, to do with specifically for you, your work and relationships, and how those two things were going to come together, okay, with somewhat of a clash, okay. Now these can be your one-on-one relationships significantly, but also encompassing with that the relationship within your family life, okay, or your family structure, and how your work and your personal life clash or need to come together in order for you to move forward. Now it's funny because I was looking over it, and then how significantly today, Monday, we have a Scorpio moon. Sorry, the moon in your sign, Scorpio. Okay. By Wednesday, we've got this super moon. Okay, the eclipse cycle, and we've also got towards the end of the month as well. Although we're in the shadow period, Mercury going retrograde. There is also a significant amount of other things going on astrologically. But for you, this is a complete review from now over to last year when I did your video, and how this is now going to start reaching a kind of crescendo point, okay, where all of this is going to culminate and certain things are going to move, shift, or completely be wiped out. Now that's not a scary thing in terms of most of the stuff that we're all going through at the moment is going to have been things that would have already been kind of like signposted, okay. So we'd kind of like be at a point now where we're kind of recognizing where and as we need to kind of change things up, okay, or we've already kind of done that, but we're now at a point where we can kind of start to see, if we haven't already, where these elements are going to kind of fall away. Now, your sign in particular is going to be, or I would say, feeling it a little bit, okay, around this kind of point now, where I'd say significantly you can see around your work area where things are kind of going, or you want to go, where things need readdressing around your work, okay, and what you need to kind of be now kind of pushing towards, because I would have thought most of you're seeing where you're going to be pushed into a specific direction. Now, I feel a lot of you that have done certain work, okay, and there have been frustrations around it. It hasn't all been for nothing, because I would think most of you intuitively would know that the areas you've been working on or going towards, there's going to be some kind of propelling moment, okay. You know things are going to be shifting, you know things are going to be falling away. Now it's either up to you to completely take yourself out of it, or to position yourself into the next stages, okay. Now I'm going to be completely honest, because I have pulled some cards, but I'm not going to go on to those just yet, but I am going to bring one in particular into it because it interested me a lot. Several elements of your cards that you've got here has been around kind of like I'm not saying I am going to say there's an element of kind of like tactics, there might have been some underhand kind of things that might have been going on. Now, you might have been party to them, privy to them. It could have been other people working a little bit behind the scenes against you, okay? But I'm going to actually say that this is going to go to your benefit, because whatever which way this situation plays out, being good or bad, okay, on yours or not your behalf, okay, purposely or not, there's going to be a fallout. And upon that fallout, and it might be a case of a playoff, okay, you may find something out. It might be somebody else has been a little bit sneaky or underhand, or kind of tried to upstage you, one-up you, potentially maybe hold you back. There's going to be an element here where that's going to be noted, okay, because the one thing that you guys have got in your favour is there's going to be a shift around your work and as I say, this relationship dynamic. Now, I feel a lot with you guys, okay. Your money situation should start like leveling out if they haven't, because as I say, and this is a very positive element to you. But what I am going to say to you when I go on to this, talking about the relationship aspect here, is what a lot of people kind of like mistake about Scorpios is you are very focused, you're very work orientated, okay. Your work is very important to you, or most of you, even if it is just the essence of you strive to achieve to support your immediate, okay. There's usually a beneficiary aspect to it, okay. This is why it's so very important for you guys to really be focusing upon at this precise moment where your career and like your relationship aspects are going to start coming together, because if they don't, there's going to be a significant event here that's going to kind of like butt heads, okay, and it's going to be as I say, at a cost to your personal growth, okay. Now, that's the personal growth in terms of whether you want to conjoin, whether you want to take up a partnership, whether or not you're going to start solely, okay, working together with another. So you're building a completely different dynamic within your work and home life, okay. This is where this is going to start like becoming very obviously important to you in what direction you want to go in, okay. There is a lot of support around your work element, be it at work, outside support for you, okay, to support you with what you're doing in your work. And what I will say is there should be some payoff or significant payoff for the efforts and hard work you've been putting in over the last year and a half, okay. The thing is here, whatever goes on with you guys now, you need to be very, very aware and know that it's very important for you for those relationships around you, okay, to be supportive and actually help you expand and explore new things, okay, or push you into a more or onto the next level of your career aspect here, because there is a lot here about you transcending to the next level, be that whatever that might mean to you, okay. But it is all about bettering yourselves, okay. Now, one thing is if those relationships aren't supportive of that, or they don't gel with what you're doing, there isn't that kind of vibe, okay, then these things are going to be falling away, because this is at the point now where you are at, where things are going to start significantly showing where those cracks are. If you're finding, okay, that you're suffering at home because of your job, if you're finding that your job is suffering because of your home, this is where this is going to be kind of very apparent, and where you're going to want to be looking at it or readdressing it as to what is most important and what is going to be important to start aligning you with the direction that you're going to be headed in, okay? Now, like I say, when I say about ascending to the next level, it could be that no longer do you want to be within an environment that's just causing you stress, making it very difficult for you to be able to be part of your home life, and you're wanting to kind of restructure that, okay, and work in a different way. One of them could significantly be that you're striving to do certain achievements with your job, with your career, with your work, and there are aspects around the home that you're just finding, I'm not into this anymore, and I want to break free from that because it's too much of a distraction and it's not vibing with me in that direction, okay? This is about your time to flourish, and this is what I'm saying in both areas. The two areas are very lit up for you, okay, in terms of accomplishment, and wanting to have that, okay, that wanting to have the relationship, wanting to have the work, wanting to have that peace on both aspects, okay? And this is the thing, this is where it's going to be imperative for you now to get this right. I'm going to bring your cards into it here in 1 second, because it's just reminded me of that. Like I said, we're kicking off this week, okay, and this is, as I say, going to take us into this series of eclipse, guys. And I want you to think very carefully about, as I said, the last few years of your life. Going back, I keep bringing up this 2012, 2014 era, okay, and then moving forwards to 2017, and then from there on in, okay, up to this point, and especially over the last year and a half, which is really significantly aspected in terms of, I said, where this work has kind of steadily been more and more and more and more of a theme for you, okay? And then around your relationships, okay, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, okay? Now, like I said, we're starting this week off with the moon in your sign, okay? The moon is signified by Cancer. Cancer is home, okay? Cancer is all about our nurturing. Cancer is all about our emotions. Cancer is all about what is hidden, okay? It's not all very transparent, okay? It's deep, okay? The moon always symbolises things coming up. Now, Scorpio, you are the sign of, I hate to say it within the tarot card, okay, the death, okay, the phoenix rising, okay, the phoenix, the death, and then the resurrection, okay, going down deep, coming out the other side, regenerated. Now, the thing is here, Cancer being like I say, the home living, okay, all about our emotions, everything wanting to be on a level, all right. With it being in your sign, okay, as I said, there's this conflict because you're all about all in or out, okay, do or die, okay. You're used to like things being regenerated, that death and rebirth energy, okay. Also suppressing feelings, okay, navigating them, kind of getting over shit and getting on with it, okay, kind of like hiding the emotion, working through it, or kind of like hiding the emotion and then it all comes out. Now, being in an emotional moon aspect here, the Cancer moon, okay, the moon being of Cancer, okay, the nurturer, the mother, okay, the home, the security. This is what I'm talking about, this security to do with, okay, how we're going to start doing things over, how we're going to start changing things. Because like I said, there was a culmination about how we were all going to be transforming every single one of us. This is your time to completely transform now, transforming your home, transforming your relationships, transforming yourself, transforming your work. Okay, these things, whether you like it or not, you're not going to have an awful lot of control. You can to a degree if you've noticed a signpost going along, okay, where you need to change things up, where you need to let things go, where you need to no longer hold on to those things that you recognize now or should be, that are actually inhibiting you or holding you back from that complete transformation into going into like 2022, 2023, okay, and as I say, going forward then for the next 7 years. Now, this is no joke, and it really is not a joke, because like I say, this series of eclipse, if you don't actually start like seeing where you need to be going, or you should be seeing where you want to be going, and changing things up and going with those things, those gut feelings, this is where it is significantly going to start holding you back, because things are just going to go anyway. You've probably seen it for yourself over the last year. We all have, okay, how things have been so very, very changeable. And this reviewing period, okay, with the Sun in Gemini, okay, the Jupiter the Jupiter in Pisces, okay, with this whole thing about fact fantasy, fact reality, you know, what we can no longer like kind of disguise and hide and kind of have pie in the sky ideas. We now need to kind of like keep our eye on the prize, okay, which way we're going forward. I would say there is a lot of you out there now that recognise this and actually are starting to actually navigate yourself through. Now, the nice part of this is what I'm going to say to you. I'd say a lot of you, if you have been actually doing that work, you have been putting yourself in those places, spaces, around those positive people and around those situations now that you recognise are positive and good for you, will actually end up having a very nice little payout here, especially around your career aspect, okay? The rest should all fall into place. I will say to you though, your whole year has been geared up, setting up around your family life. Now there will probably be some significant changes, especially around kind of children represented within your sign, okay? Where there are going to maybe be some little hiccups, little changes, things that come in that can be a little bit disruptive, okay? And it's how you actually, again, take yourself back, start assessing situations and seeing whether you're needed to intervene, needed to give that support, or you're just needed to say to people, do you know what, maybe you need to work these things out on your own, okay? I'll be here to support you, but I'm not going to do it for you, all right? There's a lot here, like I was saying, about communication with others. I think a lot of you've probably grown over the last year, or certainly will start growing over the remainder of the year and a half where this is going through your sign, where you're going to start recognizing where you need to speak up and you need to start having communication, better communication with people, okay? And how to go about clearing things up before they actually get out of hand. I think this has been the one thing that stunted a lot of relationship growth, okay? And like I say, going forward, the two of them can work very, very well if you assist it by actually recognizing you've got your part to play within relationships, about excuse me, talking about your feelings and emotions, okay, and acknowledging others and how you can work through problems together, rather than going away and kind of like thinking that things are going to work themselves out and somebody else is going to keep doing the input for you. You need to start showing up and representing, okay, your part and where your strengths are and what relationships mean to you, okay, so that they can grow and flourish throughout the remainder of the 7 years, okay? Because this is where we're then going to be going on to, as I say, another work focused area of your chart coming up shortly, okay? But how, again, you'd want to have these relationships, okay, cemented and settled so that you can go forward, okay, and start seeing where everything starts coming together in full alignment, okay? There are, as I was saying, a lot of personal issues, personal resolutions coming up for you, okay? And this is where I'm going to go onto your cards here, because, as I was saying, they really, really do go well with the astrology aspect of your reading, okay? We had here, okay, there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. There actually is like I said, if you're communicating, saying where you want to go, saying where the people that are important to you, where they can support you, where they can assist you, letting them know where they fit in and feature going forward, okay? Having that communication about how you can work together with people. Team being the probably the operative word in for your work, okay? How you gel with people. Do you want to start going off independently, where outside resources can start supporting you, fit in with you, and actually can join, and building up some nice partnerships, discussing, like contracts, things like that, going further forward, how you can all kind of support each other as like mini businesses, contractual, do you know what I mean? Like just getting on board with other people around your work industries, where you can make some really ideal partnerships. People that are in the same sort of features with you, where you can bump off nicely with each other, okay? You know what I'm trying to say. You've got this surrender to the divine card, okay? Everything is going to start falling into place. Yes, there is an element where you've got to kind of like get behind your ideas, and you've got to kind of like push things a little bit here. But majority of this should have already started to take place, or you should start seeing that happening now, okay? There are going to be some slowdowns, and there are going to be some things here with the old Mercury retrograde, I'm afraid, okay, that is going to kind of cause a few hiccups and that. But I would also say to you, over the last year, coming into year and a half, okay, aspect of this, a lot of this stuff should have already, or what's coming in now, will have been things that would have already kind of like been maybe talked about, shown up in the past. You'll see where things start fitting in, okay? People that you've had conversations with in the past, but potentially might start showing back up, okay, and start featuring now. You can see where things start slotting in. It might be around promotions, it might be around, as I was saying, things that have been held off because it's been the wrong time, and now things are starting to open up. It starts to become, oh right, okay, I can see the relevance as to why it didn't then, but now we can sort of see where we can start going forward. Okay, contracts again that might have been put on the back burner, or people that are working together with you in the past that had to maybe step back, can now start coming back in and forging their ways forward with you again. It might be, like I was saying, about this whole reassessment about how you're working at home, whether you want to continue to do that because of family issues that maybe are not so much family issues now, because as time's been settled down, you can actually see there's a better way of working, or you will see a better way of working, okay? One thing is like I was saying, the money aspect of things, you should now actually see where you can start maintaining some form of comfortability, if that's a word. You know what I'm trying to say again. You've got here as well some nice aspects as well about things about stepping back into balance again, all right? And again, around this children, the vulnerability aspect, okay? Again, I'll go back to, there might have been some things here that have come up, that will come up, okay? Again, that you need to kind of maybe in some instances allow people to start learning from their mistakes, okay? Where in the past you'd stepped in and supported people, assisted people, got involved with situations, knowingly, unknowingly, and now it's a kind of time now where it's like, right, I've done this for you, now we're going to start like actually talking about things and actually getting things into a better perspective, and you can start actually making some decisions for yourselves rather than me having to fight the corner for you. Because like I said, a lot of this I think have been distractions over the year, distractions going all the way back to 2012, where communication breakdowns, rectifying things around the home and family, maybe it could be step families, step siblings, the wider family, the immediate family, the in-laws, anything to do with that. This is now where, like I saying, it should be start to become now more about your time, Scorpios, okay, where you are fixing more on yourself, your work and your relationships, about how they are all fitting together nicely, or stepping out of those situations that just have not been working, and you can see where those cracks have been, be it down to you, other people, but I would say your part in them. You should be able to see now how you can start rectifying, and actually start changing things to work more harmoniously. And if not, you need to start doing something about it. But things will start to change or shift, or you'll start noticing where they're going to start changing and shifting, okay, within this element. Anything, as I say, that breaks through or intervenes with this kind of level of kind of where things should be now starting to be more settled, you're going to start having issues or problems with. And this is where, like I say, you're going to start recognizing them, and maybe start looking and going, this is where I need to start nipping things in the bud. I cannot be the reliable individual that's going to keep dealing with this. Certain people are going to start to have the realizations where there are elements of your own life now that you want to start taking control of, and they may not fit in with that quite in the same way, and that might start causing a few ructions, okay? I think the reflection around the home is going to be what home means home to you, okay? How you're going to start making your home, what's going to be in your home, who's coming into your home, who's going out of your home, what is your home life representing? Work and home, are they conjoined? Are they separate? Do you want to kind of changing completely, like even moving away? That's another thing that could be highlighted here as well. Is it that you're moving out of your work? Are you moving into another home? Are both combined? These are situations that may well start coming up, okay, and under review and assessment again, okay? What is it that you're now transgressing towards, okay? What are you coming away from? Is this completely moving into partnerships and new homes, new stable environments? Or are you going to start coming out of them to maintain a different kind of stability for yourself, and looking completely focused on the work aspect, and anything that comes into that then is going to be this new ascension towards a different way of moving, okay? So there's two sides to this, but majority of it is going to be for you guys about getting that balance, that harmony, okay? What is good for you? You will notice this because it will either affect your work or it's going to affect your relationship. Both of them now need to be conjoining, and both of these now need to be something that you're going to be settled with and happy with, because you're not going to keep wanting to do this cycle over and over and over and again. And the problem is with the remainder of the year, and then again in 2022, if you don't get this right, it's going to break away again, okay? We had the clarification cards, okay, as like I say, these partnerships coming together, okay? The reunion, okay? Basically, how you're going to actually bring things into balance, okay? The question's over, all right? Where your work element, the finances come into play with this. Do you want it? Don't you want it? How are you going to start making this work? And what again here, what we've got here is this complete transformation, okay? The butterfly, okay, which is everything coming out of the cocoon into something new. We've got messages here, okay, that are going to make you cock of the walk, okay, basically. All right, you're going to be sitting pretty with some of these things that come out of these eclipse cycles. Like I said, they're not all bad. They're not all the eclipses can be very, very positive if we utilize the energy in a very, very positive way, okay? And as I say, this has been a 1.5-year cycle for you, transforming you into a much better place and space, okay, with people and things. If you have done the work in the right way and you haven't ignored or neglected those things that you needed to do along the way, all right? Just to clarify, okay, what I was saying about some aspects of friendships or family, okay, about figuring shit out on your own, all right? Some people now need to start figuring shit out on their own, okay? They need to do that work themselves. You cannot keep being the rescuer, all right? You've got to allow people to grow as well. Don't strip them of that opportunity. You've got to stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking on that person. Just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. You've got shame, regret and guilt. Those are just bullshit. Forgive, let that shit go. Now, it was interesting, okay, because we had this reflection card here, all right, and this personal issue reaches a resolution. Now, for me personally, when I see this, all right, if there are people that you're wanting answers from, okay, you need to step back, all right? There are things here that if you're holding on, like I say, to relationships, okay, that are just not any good. As I've said to you, this eclipse cycle coming in, and the things going out are going out for a reason, to put you into this much better space and place, okay, with other people that are going to be coming in and supporting you, okay? So just stop wasting your time on things like that now, because it's just not going to work, all right? You probably would have already known this. Now, retrograde cycles have this really funny habit about bringing people from the past back into our lives, generally to retest us, generally to clear that whole cycle out, okay? So if there are things that are coming back up, these irritants, like I said to you about people that are trying to play on your sentiment, and so this doesn't have to be just a romantic, it can be family, friends, whatever, okay? Work partnerships, it can also be, like I say, partnerships, okay, from the past. Leave that shit where it belongs, okay, in the past. Don't keep resurrecting it. Let it go, okay? And again, if there's something that you're waiting on, okay, or I'm going to put this in a different way, if there are those of you that are screwing about, okay, messing with other people, moving on in a different direction because you've kind of benched them, you're hedging your bets, you're playing games, you need to stop that crap as well, okay? Because this has got the tendency here to come back and bite you on the arse even harder than what you think. This is a very, very karmic cycle that we are all going through, okay, at the moment. And I'm telling you now, and as I'll be telling all the signs here as well, don't mess with your mojo here, guys, because seriously, if you know you don't want to be with somebody and you're just stringing them along, if you know that relationships coming up to an end, you don't need to keep bringing people back in and toying with them like a cat, all right? Don't do that, because like I said, this is going to have a tendency to bring in shitty situations in another way, that this could be a very, very, very good transitional period for you. Letting things go that you do not need in your life for whatever reason, if it's just something to kill a bit of time, a bit of boredom, anything like that, just don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on your work aspect. For those of you that have got relationships that are positive and very, very good, this is brilliant, because like I say, you can transition through this phase now, ascend into your next stage of growth here, going into 2022 and beyond. Okay, and these can be some really good power relationships here, where coming together with people is going to enhance. Now you've got to remember, Scorpio also rules taxes, other people's money, finances, contracts, all of those sort of things, and relationships. Okay, so when you are on point, when you are on your best form, when you are in your best element, which is being stable, okay, this is where you outperform, this is where you can perform, and this is where you can actually reach your full potential. So please guys, if you are in a situation now where things are starting to come together, you can start seeing where things are falling away, because you can now start seeing where these other things are coming in and falling into place. Don't screw this up, okay? Sit with what you've got. Start keeping your eyes open. Start watching those openings, okay? Start seeing where you can play that game and go forward, okay? Because this is a very, very promising period for you, going towards the end of the year, okay? Which is only going to put you on that next stage, going into next year and beyond, that you're going to be quite happy with, okay? So take care, guys, and I will speak to you soon.